Hey, what is up you guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be replacing the coil pack on my 2005 Mark IV Volkswagen Jetta. Now, if you have a Mark IV Golf or a new Beetle, the coil packs are actually the same if you have the 2.0 engine, so the process is the same. So if you have that car, you can watch this video, it'll be the same exact thing. Let's get into it. The tools that you'll need to complete this job are a ratchet, a 5mm hex socket, a 6mm hex socket, a 10mm regular socket, a extension if you need it, and lastly a screwdriver just in case any of those electrical connectors don't come off easily. Now these are all the tools that you'll need to complete this job. Let's get started. The first thing that you're going to want to do is take the engine cover off. So take that 10mm and take that nut off so you can get it off. Alright, when you have that nut off, you can now take off the engine cover. First, I'm going to take out the dipstick. Put that aside. And then once you have the dipstick out, you can then pull it off. It just pulls straight off. Don't be afraid to yank it a little bit, just don't yank it too terribly hard. Now that the engine cover's off, we need to remove the secondary air injection pump, which is right here. First, we'll be taking off these hoses right here to get started. Now these hoses are a little bit tight. They've been on here for a long time, so it may take a little bit of persuasion to get them off. But I can assure you, put some muscle into it, you'll get it off. Now my injection pump is barely held in by anything. That is because, these are prone to, like the brackets like failing and stuff like that, so they're just dangling around. So it may be easier or harder if it is actually stable and it's not moving around and everything like that. Next, now we're going to move to taking off the bolts holding in the bracket. You'll need that 6mm hex socket, which is right here. Let's get this on. And now there's 3 bolts on this bracket. There's one right here, one back here, and one all the way back near the block. Alright guys, here it is. Here are the other 2 bolts that are kind of harder to see. The first one is up close, and then there's the third one all the way down there in the back. These are still both 6mm hex, and just take them out and then the bracket will come right out. The first one's right up here. This one's easy. We'll just break that free. So I finally got that last bolt removed. It was kind of a pain in the butt because this hose was in the way, so I just unclipped it from this clip down here. So just remove that hose, and now you can pull the bracket out and out of the way. So we can put that over here, and now we have full access to the coil pack. Now we can go ahead and remove the coil pack. There are 3 bolts holding it in and 1 connector. The 5mm hex bolts are right here, here, and here in between the spark plug wires. It might be hard to see, but I'll circle it for you so it's easy to see. So there's 3 bolts, 1 connector, 5mm hex bolt. Now let's get these bolts out. Now, because these bolts are really long, if you have any type of power tool that can pull it right out, that'll be much quicker than using just hand tools. But since I only have hand tools available to me, I'll be here stuck sitting, pulling these long bolts out, because Volkswagen loves putting long bolts in things that don't need long bolts and things like that. So let's keep going. Now that we have the bolts removed, we can go ahead and remove the connector. right off, relatively easy. Just pull up and it should come right out. And now we have the entire coil pack pulled out of the car. Now what we're gonna do is pull off these spark plug wires. They may be a little tight. They haven't been taken off in a long time, so they may need some persuasion. Alright, we finally got it out. My spark plug wires are as old as dirt, so it took a ton of force and a ton of using the screwdriver actually to take off the rubber and like get it started, because they were just locked on there, man. They were just locked on there. So now we finally got this off. Now we can put the new one on, get everything put back together and stuff like that. So let's get into that. Alright, here's the brand new coil pack right here. So we'll get this started and go ahead and put it in. We'll do the bolts first and then we'll put in the wires. Now that we have these hand tight down to the coil pack, we can now tighten them down. They don't need to be that tight. I think the torque spec might be like 7 foot-pounds or something like that. But that's basically hand tight, so use your best judgment. I'm gonna use my best judgment. You know, I'm just gonna tighten it down. Not gonna go too tight. You don't wanna break the head off these bolts or anything, but yeah, let's get into it. Alright, now that the bolts are tightened down, we can now plug back in our connector for the coil pack. Just grab it, push it in, make sure it's fully connected. I didn't really hear it click, but that thing is actually on there, so I think we're good there. And now we can go ahead and put back our spark plug wires onto the coil pack. One more thing before I put back the spark plug wires, make sure that when you're taking them off that you know which one goes where and you keep it in order and stuff like that, because it is specific. So I kept mine with the organizer right here, so I'm just gonna put it back in the same way. If you want, you can take pictures and stuff like that. It might make it easier for you, but let's get these spark plug wires put back on. Alright, every one of the spark plug wires is in. Make sure you hear it click. That the click is what, you know, like tells you that it's fully in there. You don't want it half in, half out. You know, that'll give you a good reason not for your car to start and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get this all put back together. Gonna skip ahead, basically reverse the process of, you know, like taking off the secondary air injection pump, just put it back, put all the hoses. And so yeah. Alright guys, we got everything put back together, all the connectors, all the hoses, everything like that. We're leaving the engine cover off because we're going to do a test fire to see if everything's running correctly and things like that. But basically we should be all set. Here we go. As you can see, everything's running well and everything's good. I hope this coil pack installation helps some of you out. It's really not too bad of a job. If you're not a guy just talking into a camera and trying to make everything look good, the job may only take you 30 to 45 minutes if the connectors are coming off real easy for you and stuff like that. I wouldn't pay somebody to do it. It's pretty straightforward, but I'm not a mechanic. So don't take everything I say as rule, but it was pretty straightforward for me and you could save a lot of money. I didn't use a Volkswagen genuine part because the Bosch unit was literally half the price, and Bosch makes a lot of stuff for Volkswagen and they are the distributor for some Volkswagen parts. So it was a pretty straightforward decision for me. I'll have it linked below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. See you guys later.